Davis, Rick Dempsey now joined by Baseball Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. And Jim, let's talk a little bit about Ubaldo. He pitched well in his last start, but against Toronto, he's not fared too well this season.
I want to ask you one question. Did you go talk to him before the game? Because he's going to pitch a no-hitter tonight.
There's no doubt about that.
I already heard about you're on a roll today. Well, you know what? What he did, number one, he threw more strikes, threw more breaking pitches.
The key.
Yeah, and again, it's not Toronto. Now, we look at his body of work. Really short appearance, a third of an inning up in Toronto. But earlier in the year, he pitched 5 innings and actually pitched very well. A couple of runs here. So, again, I ran into DeMarlo Hale, who's their bench coach, used to coach here, and he said, we need to lay off the first pitch, make him throw ball one versus one, strike one. And we all know if he gets ahead, he can use the splitter and the curveball. I thought they did a nice job of actually mixing up the pitches against the Nationals, and it really worked. And, and if you look at the second half, ERA of over almost 7.5 runs a game. Since then, it's been about 3.5. So the Orioles, Miley pitched pretty well last night. You need another good performance, but then again, we got to wake up the offense.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's attention to detail now. We're going down the stretch now, and everything counts. Every game counts. What is it that is about Ubaldo that everybody says is his weakness, is ball one? You're right. He went against the Nationals, and he threw strike one. You put him behind the 8 ball, and all of a sudden, he comes out and fires. His career's not over with. It's not that he can't go out there and beat the Blue Jays or anything like that. It's just that if he keeps the ball down and he throws strike one, which he's capable of doing, he's a professional. He's been there before. He's won ball games. If he does that tonight and gives his team a chance to win, we're going to come back and beat this team tonight. Well, he's got good enough stuff to do that.
Well, he does. And I think, again, we talk about the process, your preparation. If you're throwing ball one, and I learned this from Earl Weaver. He said, listen, every time you throw strike one, I'm going to give you $4. And every time you throw the first pitch for ball, you owe me $2. Well, after 2 games, he gave me $125. I wanted his money, but what he did was he made it because he trusted my stuff. Ubaldo doesn't throw 96 like he did with Colorado. But when you're throwing 90, 91 with movement, which is usually what he does, throw the ball over the middle of the plate. But what's the process to get there? When you throw your sides, what you do is you throw 10 fastballs down the middle. They don't go there, but you find out where your release point is. And again, if you don't do the work, it's a little bit harder to command your stuff, and that's how he gets into trouble. And what's going to happen, when you're throwing about 18 pitches an inning and you're walking over 5, he strikes out almost 8 per 9 innings, but he walks over 5, and that just doesn't do it. We talk about the Jays. Yeah, they hit home runs, are number 2, but they also have second base best on base percentage, and they're number 1 in walk. You don't throw it over, they will go to first and let the next guy hit the home run.
Jimmy, let me go back, to our times, where we were. We got to the All-Star game. We're 4 or 5 games back. We walked out on the field with a swagger. We knew the season was ours. We were 5 games back at the All-Star break, and we're saying to ourselves, we've got this in our pockets. We know exactly what we have to do in order to win and to take over this division. You go out there, you make adjustments. You've learned what you needed to learn in the first half of the season. We know what the weaknesses are. Get ahead of Toronto, brush them off the plate. Don't try to hit them. Brush them off the plate. Show them what it's going to be like if they want to try to swing at something inside. Throw the curveball down and away. We found ways to win baseball games and come back and take control of the division. This team is better, I think, in a lot of respects than we were. I had a better all-around defensive team. Starting pitching, I truly believe that we made ourselves better, but, you look at what we had back there and what this team has right now with all this power. How would you have liked to have had this lineup to throw to, Jim?
Well,
they can hit 2 to 5 home runs a game.
Yeah, I don't know if I wanted to pitch in Camden Yards, but there've been a lot more 3-2 sliders. But, really, this club is better than they played. And, losing July because the runs went down from over 6 runs in June, and all of a sudden they stopped hitting. Manny's had 1 bad month. It happened to be July. But the runs are up this month. They just have to pitch better. They have to play better collectively. Again, you do have a fabulous defense. We've seen that from almost every night. So just figure out a way to win, and that's what good teams do, and we'll find out. That's the great thing about baseball. How good are they? They got 31 more games to do. Nobody thought they were going to be in the position to be in the race. They're, maybe they're not as good as Boston or Toronto, but win a wild card, and they're certainly capable of doing that.
Let's talk a little bit about Jay Happ going for his 18th win, but some of the Orioles have really got some good numbers against Jay Happ.
Yeah, well, except that, here's the problem. He's thrown 9 home runs in his 6 starts. So again, he's given up 3 3 runs or less, 19 of his 25 starts. They get him 7 runs a game. So if you're Ubaldo, you got to know that. I don't want him to get 7 tonight. Maybe 2, 3. I'll take my chances. The other thing is, 11 of his 13 of his 25 starts, 1 run or less. So he's pitching well. He's on a roll. They think he's going to win. How about having a big inning early? Maybe get him out there, get to the bullpen. That's what happened in New York, where they got to the underbelly of the bullpen, so to speak. So again, he's not going to want him to do that. Very capable guy. He's gone 25 and 24 and 5 since he got traded over to the Pirates, and Ray Surridge, who's a terrific pitching coach, kind of straightened him out. So, again, he's tough to beat, but he's beatable. We used to face Ryan. We used to face Tanana. We used to have to beat Tiant. We used to have to beat, Sudden Sam McDowell. Go out there, make him work, have some quality at bats, and take your chances.
This team has really been good.
Have you seen him so up for a game like tonight?
I heard about it in the press room. All the advanced scouts. Gordon Lakey, for the Phillies goes, I had 40 minutes. Dempsey's on a roll. And I go,
well,
I know.
You just hate to lose. You hate to see a team that has done as much as this team has done all season long, and all of a sudden give it away like this. We're not making other teams beat us. We're beating ourselves by not doing the little things. We don't need everybody to go out there and hit home runs. We need them to get a runner in from third base at times. In these kind of games, that's how you beat the tough guys like Happ. We go up to Toronto, we bang him all over the ballpark. Alvarez hits a home run. Everybody hits a home run. We take the game back from him, and then we give it away late and everything. But the point is, when Happ was in there, we did what we had to do to knock him out. Remember that game. Go back out there with that same kind of confidence and knock him off the mound tonight and see what happens, how they feel about coming to the ballpark tomorrow.
Well, we love your enthusiasm.
Well, let's go.
I'm going up. I'm going to talk for 3 hours, and I'm convinced.
Yeah, I'm convinced too. I know we got a lot of the best of a lot of things. There's no reason for this to lay down for this guy.